Welcome everybody to the Division 5 championship game featuring the Game Changers and the Ghosts. I am your host, play-by-play. You see it on the screen, baby. Darren Basmajan, and with me, two very colorful individuals, Terry Tam to my right and Pease Delaries to my left.
I'm fairly insulted.
Fairly, why? Because Terry came first?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm not that
Look
colorful.
at the screen.
Well, it's only fair, Pease, because you're first on the screen and I'm second on the screen.
And I'm first in your hearts. So, guys, before the game gets started, let's get into it a little bit. Pease, thoughts on this one?
I think it'll be interesting. We have two teams that are similarly built but very different in style. I think it'll be fun. We've got the fast-paced Game Changers, the slow Ghosts. It'll be interesting.
Terry?
It's gonna be honestly, having seen both these teams play all season, very excited. Like you said, different styles of teams, but very evenly matched, of course.
Awesome preparation by Terry Tan.
Yeah,
I'll
awesome.
just copy what Pease said.
Hey, it always works.
You're seeing on your screen the shot of the Ghosts, shot of you of every team, and we're seeing it's a different view, a different style for the road show this year. Hats off to Pease and Alex D'Aquila for putting it all together, and that is the last time I will say hats off to either of those guys.
Good. What Eagle did was make everything work, and I had a beer.
Yeah,
I had it with you.
It was nice.
I drank water.
It looks like we're getting ready to put this one. Yeah, we're about to get ready to start it. You can taste that beer. I'm having a little difficulty here.
I'm happy the microphones aren't breathalyzers.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
It would be complicated for you, Darren. You wouldn't be allowed to operate. the
I'm
booth.
mad.
You wouldn't be allowed
because
to operate anything. Sorry,
I'm
Terry, go.
I'm mad because I'm using the same mic that Mokan used.
It must be terrible.
I know it smells.
Point. Okay, I don't know what we're waiting for here. It
Well,
looks
let's
like
get
It's a weather
what-
delay.
all right. Game Changers are going to start with the ball, and what are the keys to the Game Changers offense? Pease.
What they got to do is play fast. They got to attack deep. I think that their style of play can work well against Ghost defense. They're faster. I'd like to see them get at it right away.
All right. Well, we'll see if they do just that. We'll come to Terry for his thoughts on the Ghost defense after this play. Right now, we're seeing Jonah Cohen at the snap. Anton Sakis, QB of the year, takes the first snap of the game, goes deep down the right sideline. Ball is up, caught, ball will knocked out of the hands of the receiver, and that ball will fall incomplete.
I mean, great throw by Anton Sakis over there. Terrence Dobson, usually a very reliable receiver, couldn't get his hands on it. It was an awkward come down. Now he's slow to come up.
Yeah,
Well
William Plant made a huge play to knock that ball away.
And what a loss this would be for the Game Changers if Terrence Dobson would be hurt.
Mr.
Pick
Pick
this early.
Six himself.
Mr. Pick
Mr.
Six himself.
He has 6 pick sixes in the playoffs so far. That is a ridiculous number.
Well, it's even more ridiculous because it's 6 pick sixes out of 6 interceptions.
That's a 100% touchdown rate, if my math is correct.
Touchdown to interception ratio.
All right, guys, we are cooking with gas. Second play of the drive, we saw the Game Changers play their style. Go for the big score. We'll see if they try and slow it down now or if they go back to it. Saki's getting ready to take the second snap of the game. He's surveying the field, goes over the middle. The ball is almost
Dropped by
intercepted.
Sant.
Dropped by Santash, almost in the hands of number 7, Michael Homanok.
Mustache to Santash. He almost got to the ball there. Unfortunately, he put it up for the defender. Luckily, it fell to the ground.
Now,
Little thrown behind.
I was
Paul
going to say,
Santash.
is that more on the passer or the receiver?
I
there,
think it's
Terry?
more on Anton Sakis. It was thrown behind him when there was a defender waiting for the
You
ball.
get 2 hands on the ball, you got to catch it, period.
That's typical Perry. Wow, Pease and Terry. All right, let's go. Sakis with the third snap of the game, going deep down the middle. This will be caught by Justin Filto. Touchdown, first score of the game. 6-0 lead for the Game Changers.
How fast is Justin Filto?
Really fast.
No,
I think he's the
compared
fastest
to something.
person.
Compared to something. Anything on earth.
Light.
He's as fast as light.
I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm just throwing out there, I do have a background in science. That's not possible.
Science isn't very scientific.
Well, I mean,
Everyone
did you
knows that.
see him get to that ball? I didn't
No
see
one
him.
did because it's like light.
Because he's like light.
I hate you guys. 6-0 lead for the Game Changers, and we'll see what Anton Sakis has drawn up for his offense here. He's giving some last-minute instructions to Filto.
He
Terry,
asked him what the play was. He forgot.
all right, Saki's a bit of a high snap, catches it, looks to his left, goes back to his right, throws it, and that ball is almost caught by number 13, Paul the
Santash.
Mustache Santash.
That's
That's going to catch.
That was a little overthrown to Paul right now. Normally, it's a little weird because they had great kind of chemistry during the season. So for them to be underthrown and overthrown with 2 passes going to Santash, maybe nerves are getting to them right now.
Well,
that
look-
being said, they haven't had the same effect during the season, during the postseason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Saki's has seen his numbers dip a bit. I think the whole Game Changers offense has seen their numbers dip. And as you mentioned, Pease, their defense has been the one to step it up in the postseason so far. They'll have to do it again as the Ghosts get ready for their first drive of the game. Gaumont looks over the middle, passes down, caught by
Gab
That
Wise.
was-
Gab Wiseman. We're going to say that name a whole lot
I
tonight.
think so too. The matchup that I'm looking at right now is Justin Filto really fast getting to Alexis Gaumont. Alexis Gaumont hasn't really faced the rusher as fast as Justin Filto this season.
I think the key will be whether or not the rest of the defense can confuse Gaumont for Filto to be able to get there.
Well, we'll have to see. He's like you said, top rusher. Filto's been doing a great job. Gaumont going for his second snap of the first drive. Looking to his right. That pass is caught by William Plante. Gets some yardage after. Finally tackled by Paquette, number 22, Louis-Philippe Paquette, who we've mentioned before in the finals last winter, who
When he
played on Les
for
Malades.
Exactly.
Thoughts on that play, Terry?
Well, it was a quick out to the. I think he was playing wide out on that last play to William Plante. That's something that Alexis Gaumont does very well. He throws that quick out very quick because he makes very quick decisions. So for that, it's gonna happen like that throughout the entire game.
Third play of the drive, Gaumont looking over the middle, caught by Wiseman, and he's tackled after a small gain.
Gab spaces Wiseman.
Yes,
Very
he-
wise.
And what was your explanation for that nickname, Pete?
Was exactly what we saw there. Gab Wiseman works really well in space, finds a soft spot in the zone, gets the catch, a couple of yaks. It's what he does. It's typical day at the office.
Like I mentioned before, they use those slants very well in Gab Wiseman. He's going right, left. Those slants are where he makes his money.
That's money. The game changer's really going to have to adjust to him. If you can take Wiseman out of the game, it really gives a different look to this Ghosts offense. Gaumont over the middle. That ball is dropped by number 5, William Plante. I thought he had it there.
Another quick slant by the wide receiver coming in. So 3 plays in a row, they go for those quick passes,
And they're open.
and they're wide open.
If they keep giving it to them, eventually the Ghosts will convert. That being said, you got to catch the ball when it's thrown to you.
Especially in the playoffs, but we see this. It's a common thing. The first couple drives, usually in the finals, some teams are a bit more sloppy, and especially a team as precise as the Ghosts, it could hurt them. Gaumont over the middle. That pass bounces off the fingertips of his intended receiver.
George Faster Elivoye.
I think he's not crazy about that
He
nickname.
hates
Peace.
it. I love it.
Is that why you love it?
Exactly.
All right. Well, it was a good pass by Gaumont, though these are 2 passes in a row that I think could have been caught for touchdowns.
Evidently.
Terry?
I agree.
All right. So we're all in agreement. This is bring up
Agreeance, perhaps.
agreeance is not a word.
It is today.
But if we're saying that Filto's faster than light, I guess it is. Big play here. Now they're in the red zone. They don't want to stall here. Gaumont rolling to his left, and he's going for a run. Gets by Filto, and is he in? Touchdown!
That's
Tie
unquestionable.
game, 6-6. Ghosts are going to have to try and get the lead here on this extra point conversion. Thoughts on that play, Peace?
I thought he stepped out right before. Like the ball might have crossed the plane, but it's got to be the flag. So
The hips, yeah.
The hips. yeah.
Hips don't lie.
the hips might have lied in this particular case.
Okay, Terry, do you agree?
Well, I think he was in.
All
I
right,
mean, from
so
what
you
I saw,
disagree.
he was in.
Yes.
And I always agree with Scoop, and Scoop is telling me he was in.
yes.
Scoop, was he in? He
He says
yes.
absolutely. Score is 6-6. Gaumont going for the pass, and Plante comes down. Is he holding on to it? It looks like he's going to get credit for the catch, and now we've got some brouhaha after the play.
Simultaneous possession always goes to the offense.
Always goes to the receiver.
And
Would you
that's
guys
I've
like to say the
noticed-
same thing over and over
pretty
again
much.
with different words?
It's a bromance.
Please say something so I can repeat it.
I love
what
you, Terry.
I love you too, Terry. What I've noticed is that Terrence Dobson wasn't on that defensive drive.
Yeah,
Well,
you got to
he's-
wonder. He might have had his bell rung on that first play.
Well, he's on the field right now. Maybe he just took a series off just to say, maybe just cautionary reasons.
When a guy has 6 pick sixes, get him
Keep
on.
him
on
on the
defense.
field.
Get him on.
And
Get him
he lives where Alexis Gaumont scored that touchdown, so maybe we were looking at a different drive last drive.
That's right. Tough to adjust in this situation now. Sakis gets the pass off, and that pass is caught by the mustache for a gain of about 8-9 yards. Good first play on the drive.
If he doesn't grow a mustache for November, it's just an insult.
Well, to you.
Yes.
He never asked for that nickname.
Right? Sometimes it's given to you. It falls to
Yeah,
you
that's
from the
it.
grace
I
and
didn't choose
glory.
Terry Tam.
It just came to you.
It
Really?
just came.
I never heard anyone else call you that.
Well, it's a long story.
Okay, we'll not get into it since you're not in the finals, and neither am I, and neither is Pease. Saki's looking second play of the second drive, looking to his right, and that pass is off, caught by Cohen, his center, and it's a gain of about 5-6 yards.
I like any pass going to the center.
You
Good
do.
read. Everything was
Both
wide
the
open.
guys.
Both
in
of us
fact.
do.
It's
yeah.
ironic that I'm sitting in the center position in the booth here, and I'm surrounded by two centers.
I'm very uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah.
I
surrounded.
don't like this arrangement at all.
I mean, that's a play that Jonah Cohen does often. Basically, that offense is built to the outside. Anything up the middle isn't really what they usually do. So if Jonah Cohen's getting a catch, it's always up the middle at that 5 to 6 hook yard range.
That's it, safety valve. That's what the center's role is in a whole lot of offenses. Saki's looking over the middle now, going to the right. Jonah Cohen with his second catch in a row, getting some extra yardage after a missed tackle by William Plante.
That was an odd play because Cohen and Santash both ended up in the same spot.
Probably
Yeah.
not how they drew it up, eh?
No, but it worked out.
The game changer is able to march up the field on short passes on this drive and last drive on long passes. So, I mean, a very versatile offense. I'm really curious to see what their third drive is going to look like.
Is there anything else they can do? Is there any other way?
Medium passes.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that. But this drive is not over yet. Sakis has to make sure he protects that ball and tries to punch it in for the touchdown. Who do you think he's going to go to here, Peace?
I think it'll be Phil Toe at the back of the end zone.
All right, let's see how it goes. He's looking over the middle, trying to buy some time, throws it up. I think that's going to fall out of bounds. It's caught, but out of
Santash.
bounds. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what you got to do as a quarterback. You put it in a position where maybe if your receiver is a freak, he'll come down with it, but if he won't, nobody else will.
Yeah.
I've seen that same play happen 3 times where Santash goes back of the end zone, running completely across the back of the end zone. And if he's open, Sakis is going to throw to him 100%, but he hasn't been open until that play, just a little bit overthrown.
And it's a good play design, especially in division where in the red zone teams will play lanes.
Is that just Division 5, I think? A
Well,
lot of
across FPF, but specifically in Div 5.
All right, so Saki's going another attempt. That ball pops up and it's intercepted, and the Ghosts are returning it for a gain of about 10, 15 yards.
That's a huge play.
William Plante, who had that drop earlier, didn't hurt them because they scored the touchdown, makes the biggest play of this final so far.
That
Agreed.
interception is key, taking the ball away from the game changers, especially when they're in the red zone. I mean, this defense is going to come up with those plays. They're very effective in that regard.
It's a question now to see if Dobson will get back on the field, to see if he can have his imprint in the game. And if he does, then we'll see if the game changers can take the ball back and regain momentum. But for now, it's swung heavily in the Ghosts' favor.
What was Anton Sakis thinking on that play, Terry?
I don't know. There was 2 guys. He tried to force it behind the 2 defenders. It got tipped, and William Plante having the wherewithal to catch it and run.
It just feels like it's one of those balls that you throw and you wish there's a strength attached to it, and that you can pull it back. Honestly, you should just have thrown it into the third deck.
Yeah, and there's no deck there. It's the wall.
Imagine it.
But either way.
You gotta imagine it, Terry.
No, but he is a gunslinger, right? And so he will take chances that he shouldn't have sometimes, and that's one where it kind of came back and bitten him in the, can we say?
Ass.
All right. Well, I guess we can.
Let's see if the game changers make the adjustments on the slants.
Well, they got to change the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Ghosts' second drive now. They've got the advantage after that interception by William Plante. Pass is caught down the right sideline, tackled after a huge gain of about 20 yards.
Jeremy Carrier, that play worked in the semis and also in the quarterfinals. That corner route that he does, they get the wide receiver to do a hook, take the corner away, and that play is usually open. It's a play that Alexis Gaumont likes to do, and he does it very well.
It's a great job, great play, great design, great way to carry over that momentum after the interception by William Plante. Alexis Gaumont getting ready now for a pivotal snap on this drive. Gab Wiseman getting ready for the snap. I feel like we might be hearing his name again soon as he breaks right, but the pass is over the middle, and it's almost
that should have
intercepted. Couldn't have thrown it any better to Ben Fendel, and it just bounces off his hands.
Well, he wasn't intending to throw it to Ben Fendel. He's
But he couldn't have thrown it better. It was the perfect. Right in the gut.
Absolutely. He undercut the route. Very smart defensive play.
Great play by Ben Fendel, a guy who doesn't get that much respect or isn't mentioned as much in this team of big-name players.
He's definitely not one of the sexy names on the roster, but definitely a huge part of the defense.
Because there are other sexy names on the roster.
They're all sexy names.
Alvi Mizel. Can you get more sexy than that? Gaumont looking left. That pass is caught. A spin move for Georges Faster-Elivoyer, who gets stopped about a yard short of the end zone. That brings up a big play. Now we're in the red zone. There are about I'm dead. Everything's dead. Okay, we're back. A little bit of technical difficulties there. The play is ongoing, however. Terry, who do you think is going to get the pass in this pivotal situation?
I'm looking at Gab Wiseman or maybe William Plant. You have to look at Gab Wiseman right now. He's been communicating with the quarterback the last few plays, so maybe they're looking at it right now.
There's a guy who got 70 catches in the regular season. He looks to Wiseman. Pass, it bounces off his hands, and Fendel gets his fingertips on it again. But this one would have been a harder one to pick.
Another dropped interception by William Fendel. You have to take the opportunities and get the ball back for your offense, especially when you've just given up the ball.
Yeah, the thing is, in a play like that in the red zone, it's still a huge stop. That being said, the interception would have been huge. I thought Fendel had a good shot. Should have been able to pick that off.
All right, here we go. It's back and forth action in this Division 5 championship. Gaumont takes the snap, looks over the middle. The pass is caught. There's a flag on the play. We will have to see what the play call will be, if it'll affect the touchdown by Carrier. We're going to see. We're still waiting. Terry, what do you think the call is here?
Interference on the rusher.
Yeah? All right.
Interference on the rusher.
That's going to take them back.
That takes them back. Are they? I don't know if they're still considered in the red zone or they're outside the red zone.
Well, they'll still be considered in the red zone, so he can't run.
No, but were they in the red zone from the beginning?
Yeah, they were on that last play. They were at the 1 yard lines.
Okay.
So now the play gets called back. Loss of yards. And we'll see what the Ghosts can figure out in this situation. About 5 yard line. Ghosts getting ready for the snap here. The big situation, a little bit of difficulty on that last play. Here looking over his left, and that ball is intercepted by Benjamin Fendel. Give him one try, give him 2 tries, but on the 3rd try, he's going to pick that ball off. Not a great pass by Gaumont.
I don't know who Benjamin Fendel is.
Ben Fendel. What's his name?
That is his name.
Okay, good.
I called him William before.
It's all right.
I thought we changed his name to
Will
William.
Fendel with the interception.
Will Fendel.
Okay, I know what it is. You're thinking of the guy who played the brother of Corey in Boy Meets World, Will Friedel.
Will
Friedel.
Friedel. That's what I was thinking of. But he kind of looks like him too.
Does he really?
No, but great interception, like you said. 1, 2, third time's the charm. Right, you're gonna get that interception.
It's like he heard us talking about him.
I think he did.
Well, we're pretty loud, so it's very possible. Saki's now looking to. I have got GM Calethris in my ear here. Pass caught by Paul Santash, and I'm just laughing because Ella Sakis is the nickname we've given him. And Saki's coming up to take up this
I still keep hoping that he has a sister named Ella, and she's very attractive. Even though Justin Filto has denied such reports.
But maybe it's because he's got his eye on Ella.
Damn you, Justin Filto. She's mine.
All right, good effective play to Santash there, who didn't have the most effective first couple of drives. Comes up with a catch, gain of yards there. So that's good. Get him back involved. He's a key player in that offense.
Well, it's just like in basketball, right? Shooters that have to shoot to get the ball in the basket. You really have to keep on throwing to your best receiver.
Saki's now rolling to his right, on the run. Wiseman with good pressure. That pass is thrown and caught by Filto. Big gain and tackled after a gain of about 11 yards.
I like Saki's rolling out and asking for help from his receivers, pointing them in the right direction. Filto bailing him out, making a huge catch on the sideline.
Filto able to break his route and make the adjustment to get wide open in an open zone.
That's a great adjustment by him. Great job by reading the play, and that's why he's as key and pivotal a player in this offense. Filto, who was, of course, the guest on the press conference this week. Pease, you spoke to him.
Yeah, he did a great job. He seemed really ready for this game.
Well, it looks like both teams are ready. A little bit of stumbling in the red zone for both offenses on the past 2 consecutive drives. Saki's looking to change that. He passes, caught by Paquette for a gain of 7 or 8 yards, and he's tackled. And now they are very close to the red zone. This is where they stumbled last time, Pease.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised Paquette cut back to where the defender had help. It would have Nice to see him take a chance up the sideline. That being said, they're in the red zone. Saki's got to be careful with the ball.
He's got to protect it. Can't make that mistake he did last time. It's good to be a gunslinger, but if you throw too many interceptions in the playoffs, especially in the finals with so many eyes on you, so much pressure, it's going to kill your chances at winning.
It's like a curdled creme brulee.
I stop talking about weird food.
Never.
Saki's looking to his left. He throws over the middle. Caught by Filto. He's got some room, and he's in the end zone.
Beautiful
What
play.
a quick player. When you get that Filto out in space, nobody can stop him.
When I told you he was as fast as light, I was right because I had no idea he was there. I thought it was about to be interception by the defender, and Filto comes out of nowhere faster than a speeding bullet and gets there.
Well, because you didn't see it because you don't understand how to read a play. Terry.
Oh, it's true. I forgot about
It's exactly that.
So you did see it.
I did. I saw it coming the whole way, and it was never worried.
All right.
Cut
So
across the field, made a huge play. Defense over pursued. Great play.
It could be because this massive television is blocking the right side of the field.
score is 12-7 for the Game Changers with the extra point. Saki's looking over the middle, caught by Filto, and he makes it in. A very similar play to the last
Same
one.
exact play from
Why
the left
throw
side.
to anybody else?
I-
At this point,
It's a good point, but the other guys might get mad.
I know, and really,
I
it's
think-
about making guys happy, not about winning championships.
It's not about making people happy. It's about winning championships, and the
Good
Game
point,
Changers are
Terry
making
Tag.
good plays to win that
And
championship.
the reason why Terry makes that point is because he's won a championship.
Yes, I have.
And I've won 2. And if we're following that logic, Peace should have 3,
He
but
has
he's
0.
All right, again, enough about us, but we love ourselves. Alexis Gaumont on your screen right now, getting ready to take this big drive. They got an interception before by William Plante, stalled in the red zone on an interception by Fendel. He's got to make some noise now to get his team back in the game. Down by 6 points. Gaumont looking, passes in between Wiseman and François Martin, who is a big guy, which was, I think, your word for him in the
Big.
press conference. Big. He is a big guy. So now, Ghost, what does Gaumont have to do? Does he change anything or
think-
just keep going?
I think he tries to take a shot deep to George Olivier with that matchup against Benjamin Fendel. I know Benjamin Fendel's been all over the place, but I feel like George Olivier is a mid-smash against Benjamin
Let's
Fendel.
not forget that he's faster.
He is faster, according to you.
Worse.
And you know what? They're giving the outside release on the outside. I'd like to see him take a shot.
Outside release on the outside. Gaumont over the middle to Martin. It's caught, and he is tackled, and I mean tackled.
Big
But
catch.
4 yards shy of the end zone. Big play there. You guys didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. Game Changers didn't see it coming, but there it is, sure as possible. Big reception for Martin.
And like I said, expect to go deep. It was to the other guy, but that wide open middle, I guess it was something that the Game Changers didn't expect.
Yeah, and Martin just going up there, using his body to create a bit of space. Once he got his hands on it, nobody else had a chance.
And like you said, he's a big guy, right? So he can box everybody out and get that catch. A great play by Gaumont. This is where they stumbled last time. So did the Game Changers prior to that. They fixed up their situation. So let's see how Gaumont does. Pass caught by Martin. He steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Ghosts. And it is a tie game, 13-13.
How big is that?
He's huge.
Was the play big or is the person big?
Both.
He's like 6'4".
All right. Well,
No, but I was actually going to say I'm surprised that they don't use him a lot in the red zone, and for them to go to him at that play, it's kind of a reward for the big play he made the play before.
first couple drives we saw Wiseman get a lot of looks, but now we haven't seen him in this past drive, and it works for them. You can't overcommit on a guy like that when the other guys are stepping up. And we see the Game Changers defense not playing the same caliber of play as they did in the first games in the playoffs. Gaumont with a pass, bounces off the fingertips of number 22, Carrier. Good coverage by number 15.
It was number 22, Jeremy Carrier, that dropped the ball.
And Eddie Rousseau in coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. And notice again, Terrence Dobson not on the field for that drive.
I
So-
haven't seen him on in quite some time, or when he's been on, he hasn't really gotten many looks. Now he's on an offense here, but Dobson's he's the best game changer, as somebody wrote on Facebook. He's the game changiest of all the game changers.
Got 2 minutes left before 5 plays. Let's see what the game changers can do.
All right, now Sakis getting ready to take the next snap, looking to his left. That pass is caught by Paul Santash, gain of 7 yards.
The mustache making a huge play, getting the ball, turning upfield right away. I liked it.
Maybe the fact that Terrence Thompson's not getting any looks is because he's not open. Ghost, if I were the Ghost and I look at and I look at the roster of the Game Changers with stats before the game, not having seen them play, I would double cover Terrence Thompson as well.
Well, but you can't do that because if you leave Filto open, he's going to destroy you. And Santash has gotten a lot of catches during the season as well. So really,
Let's not forget Paquette. Paquette's a skilled receiver as well.
and he's a big guy. He plays with that edge, as we saw in the Malouds game.
And he's got
last
great
year.
hair. Look at that hair.
Saki's looking to the left. Santash with another catch, and he's getting some yards. Gets a gain of about 8 yards on that one. Finally tackled in the middle of the field.
That was a huge catch, but Paquette was open in the corner in the back of the end zone.
I'll agree with you on that because he did that corner very well. If Sakis had seen it quicker, it would have been a touchdown.
Well, we'll see what he can see quicker on this one. Sakis looks to have calmed down after that interception on their second drive. Score is a tie game, 13-13. Anybody you want to give the advantage to here, Pease, so far, or fairly even?
Well, they got to score here. If they don't score here, going into the second half, giving up the ball, it'll be tough.
Paquette with the catch, tackled after a gain of about 6 yards, tackled by Michael Homenok, who had a big 5-tackle game earlier in the playoffs, and he's an underrated player who gets it done on this team.
Michael Homenok is a very sure tackler. He uses his hands very well, and he's always in that middle. He's probably their best defender.
And for reasons I don't fully understand, his name reminds me of a cabin in the woods.
Is he the charming one?
No.
No, that was on Ghost.
So
that
what was Michael
Carrier.
Homenok?
Yeah, but he's on the Ghost too. So is Homenok. Who was the charming one? Was it Carrier?
I think it was Carrier.
No,
Alright.
Mike Homenok was the charming
No,
one.
he was not the charming one. He was like a good defender or something.
Well, he
Five
looks
plays.
charming.
5 plays left in the game. Anton Saki is looking to his right. That pass is caught by Filto. He sneaks in by the front cone, and that is a touchdown for the game changer. Score is 19-13. There will be 4 plays left after the convert.
He
Ghost
ran a
not
great
making.
Sorry,
Go ahead,
Terry.
please.
I can't see you, so I don't know when you're about to speak.
Go ahead.
He ran a great smash there, got a whole ton of separation, and he just walked into the end zone.
Ghost playing lanes on that, like you said, some of the lanes will be open. That corner shot, that front of the end zone shot was wide open, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's 3 times in a row Filto's been wide open in that situation. They've got to find a better answer for him than they have so far. Saki's going over to the middle, and that pass goes to no one. Jonah Cohen was waving his arms frantically, saying, "Throw me the damn ball."
And
but
he was the intended receiver and didn't go up for it.
I think maybe
it was
from
towards
our
the back of the
view,
end zone,
it looked closer than it is. I think that was a harder play for him to make than it seems like it is to us. Score is 19-13, 6-point lead for the Game Changers. Coming as advertised, a great fight between both teams. Ghosts now have 4 plays left to try and score and take back the advantage in this situation. P said earlier that the Game Changers absolutely had to score. They did so on the back of Justin Filto, great player for them. Let's see if Alexis Gaumont can respond. Gaumont looking, we tries to get some extra yard, does not, sacked, or tackled for a loss by Justin Filto. Combining words like crazy.
Terrence Dobson coming in on the defensive series, players not being open, and Justin Filto having that extra split second to get the sack.
Well, that's the thing. It's got to be covered sacks because Gaumont gets rid of the ball super quick. So if the defense can take away the first read, Filto's fast enough to get there.
And Terry and I know that because when we played against the Ghost, that was the thing for us, is that it was hard to get to him, to pressure him. He's a great quarterback under pressure. Gaumont now backed up a little bit at about the 3-yard line. Can't get sacked here. He takes off for a run, and he's got a lot of room. Filto giving chase, doesn't get there, and finally Paquette gets a tackle. He's at about midfield with 3 plays to go.
Filto broke a little bit late. Just once he got beaten, there was no way for him to catch up.
Well, I mean, it was one of those plays. I think it was designed for him to run if one person wasn't open.
Yeah.
Alexis Gaumont, he has good feet, doesn't use them often, but a good play nonetheless.
He uses them every day for walking.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
And
Hey, you never know. He might roll around in one of those segways.
I can see him in a Segway. He looks like a Segway kind of guy, like a mall cop.
All right, well, let's put that in the past, and we've got 3 plays left. Gaumont at midfield takes the snap, looking over the middle. Breaking open was Georges Faster-Elivoyer, but the ball falls incomplete, thrown a little in front of him.
George Olivier not faster enough to catch that ball.
Yeah, I figured he'd be fasterist.
Wow, English language getting butchered all kinds.
Wait till Brett Callender gets in the booth, then you'll see
Last
English
play
language just
Hey,
fail.
Brett's wearing a suit at least. He's suited up. Much better than David De La Rocca in the prior game.
I don't know what he was wearing.
He was wearing a
That
Don Cherry t-shirt. All right, so now Ghosts in a big situation here. They want to score and tie this game up, maybe even take a lead. They're at midfield. Gaumont surveying the field, pumps, goes down to the left, and he's got an opening, but Dobson almost picks it off, and maybe if he hadn't gotten his bell rung before, he might have gotten hands on it. Doesn't make a difference either way.
I wonder if that would have been a pick six catching so deep in territory.
I think he was looking for a pick six because he took his eyes off the ball for a half a second. That's why he dropped it.
Well, very entertaining half of football here. Now, Game Changers, of course, started with the ball in the first half, so now the Ghosts will get the opportunity to do the same. They still get an opportunity to come back and tie this game. It would have been a bonus for them if they scored here. But now you see some very handsome-looking people on your screen.
Oh, just one.
Terry.
And me, yes, and Mathieu Domont stepping in here. Mathieu, your thoughts on the game so far? Feel free to answer in French, English, Chinese, whatever you feel like. Thoughts on this game as you've watched it in the first half?
Honnêtement, je viens juste d'arriver du travail, j'ai pas vu rien, sauf les 3 derniers jeux. Mais j'ai vu un beau sac, une belle course, puis j'ai hâte de voir la fin de la game, ça va être le plus important.
In-depth analysis with Matt Domont.
Can't fault him for coming quick from work.
All right, and we see the traditional next teams warming up at the same time on the field. Guys, thoughts on this? Is there anything that the Ghosts have to adjust here? Terry, let's go to you first.
The adjustment that the Ghosts have to make is, I don't think they should make any adjustments. They're playing very well. The only thing is maybe try and take another shot deep because it worked in the first half.
Peace?
I would agree just because they haven't shown that they can go deep. And one thing to keep in mind is that the Game Changers have played a lot of games that were tight in the first half, and they just blew it up for the second half. Like a Tommy Lee Jones movie.
Now, to be fair, though, as when Mysterious and Magical Men played the Ghosts, I felt that they got stronger as well as the game went on. So I feel like that's a strength for both teams here. Terry?
Alexis Gaumont likes to take his time when the rusher's coming to him. He really waits to the last second and gets rid of the ball very fast. It's a fast release. So I mean, he's really taking advantage of Justin Filto being fast and maybe looking at his defenses, seeing the options. Terrence Dobson being on the field, taking away some angles. But right now, I feel like they should take more shots deep, like I said earlier.
As we're joined by Mathieu Domont here, as you can see, he's getting the glorious welcome from everybody on the FPF staff. I don't really get it because he just showed up.
He's more beloved than the rest of us.
We all hated.
He's got a winning smile.
Mathieu, give us your thoughts on your breakdown. Obviously, you're the French writer for Division 5. Give me your thoughts on what we need to see from the Game Changers and the Ghosts in this second half.
La part des Ghosts, je pense qu'il va falloir essayer, comme vous l'avez dit, d'aller deep. Il n'y a rien qui a prouvé. Ils n'ont pas prouvé Game Changers qui sont pas capables de sauver le deep. La part de Ghost aussi, il va falloir qu'on soit capable d'arrêter Anton Sakis. Je ne sais pas si on était capable cette demi-ci d'avoir un turnover.
Il y a eu une interception. Mais il y a eu une autre de la part de Gaumont, fait que ça a mené à rien.
Ça a mené à rien. Il va falloir le refaire parce que là, je vois que Game Changers vont commencer avec le ballon. On sait qu'ils sont... Non? Oh.
Je pense que c'est les Ghosts.
Bon, on va avoir une bonne fin de match. Il va falloir qu'ils savent avancer le terrain lentement. Puis je pense que plus la game avance, plus c'est serré, plus c'est l'avantage de Ghosts parce que Game Changers se sont peut-être pas ramassés dans une situation où ils sont habitués de jouer les matchs serrés. La plupart de leurs matchs, c'est des blowouts. Ghosts, c'est une équipe plus de grinders. Je pense que c'est bon pour eux s'ils prennent leur temps pour monter le terrain.
And we're speaking of grinders here, and Jeremy Carrier is one of them. Thank you, Mathieu Domont, for that analysis. He'll come back on in probably sometime later on in the second half, give us his thoughts now that he's actually here and watching the game. Thoughts on that first play piece?
Well, firstly, he is a grinder as opposed to Darren Bazbajan, who's known on grinder. Very different. Big first play. Nice to see the Ghosts eating up half the field. Half the field early.
Everybody's having a good time here, except for Darren.
Oh, man. That was amazing.
All right. At midfield, Gaumont takes the snap, looking deep down the left sideline, and Georges Livoyer not faster enough to get to that pass as it sails out of bounds.
That's that matchup that I was mentioning before. It's Georges Livoyer versus William
Fendel.
Or Benjamin Fendel. We haven't
Benjamin.
figured out what his real name is.
It's not like it's a short version of Ben.
His nickname is Jammin Fendel.
Jammin Fendel.
I like it.
Anyway, that matchup is something that needs to be exploited. They take a shot deep, a little overthrown. We'll see what happens next play.
All right, at midfield now, second down for the Ghosts offense. First drive of the second half. They are trailing by 6 points to the Game Changers in this Division 5 championship game. We are here live at the Road Show. It won't be live when you watch this, but it's live for us. Gaumont caught by Voyer, but he's tackled quickly by Terrence Dobson.
It's nice to see Dobson back on the field on defense. I think if there's going to be a game changer in this one, it will be Terrence Dobson.
Game changiest.
He's the changiest.
He's the changiest of the game changers.
Well, thanks for that penetrating analysis, boys.
We're known for penetrating.
We're known for penetrating analysis.
All right, we've got hecklers in front of us, and Gaumont over the middle to a big catch, tackled short of the end zone by Alvi Mizel. It was a catch by number 88,
Francois
Martin, the man who is big.
Yeah, and he came up big
The
there.
biggerest.
Whenever they need a big play, it tends to always go to Martin. That's why he doesn't always have the most impressive stats on the team, but if you watch the games, he makes the key catches.
I remember during the season speaking to Gab Wiseman, and he mentioned Francois Martin as one of the key players on the offense.
Yeah,
And
underrated player.
Yeah.
Next play on the drive, now in the red zone for the Ghosts after that catch by Martin. Gaumont throws it through the back of the end zone. Nobody really had a good shot at that one.
It was good that it was a little overthrown because LP Paquette was probably there to pick it off if it was on target with good coverage on that.
It was a good job for the game changers to alter the routes and timing a little bit. Gaumont got rid of it quick, put it in a safe spot, so overall it was well played.
In the red zone, they've had their struggles. The Ghosts have to step it up. We have not mentioned Gab Wiseman's name much since the beginning of the first half. What is it that the game changers are doing to take him away?
They're actually playing very strong defense in the middle. If you notice, a lot of the gains are coming to the outside.
Or down the deep middle on occasions to Francois Martin. Gaumont now looking. You see him, he's looking towards Wiseman. He evades the rush, and the ball is, I can't even explain that one. Bounces off Wiseman's fingers. Somebody else almost gets a chance at it. Alvi Mizel looking very disappointed that he didn't pick that ball off. Finally falls incomplete.
Alvi Mizel is somebody that's been covering Gab Wiseman very well all game. We haven't really mentioned him, but he's been sticking to him like glue. The fact that Gab Wiseman was able to come to the back of the end zone and almost catch that just goes to show that they're really looking to get him involved in the offense.
And the reason we haven't mentioned Alvi Mizel is because of how well he's had Wiseman covered. So there hasn't been a reason to mention him because there haven't been that many targets.
Exactly.
Gaumont looking left, and the ball is caught by Voyer. He's inbounds, and it's a touchdown. Tie game, 19-19. Ghosts get on the board first in this second half.
That ball was basically indefensible. It was put in a spot where only one guy can catch it.
It was a perfect play, perfect pass.
Terrence Dobson pleading to the ref to tell him he didn't catch it, but why we saw it from here, that was a good catch.
I like Justin Vilto coming over to say that it wasn't a catch, even though there's no way he could have seen the play because he was rushing.
Also, the referee was like in perfect position there. He was standing
Irrelevant.
right at the end. Yes, of course.
For those of us who have
Erroneous.
complained to the ref, it never matters what angle they have.
Yes, those of you.
Those of me.
Terry and I are very classy individuals and would never be accused of doing such a thing. Score is 19-19 pending the extra point. Gaumont looks over the middle, and that pass lands incomplete. He was looking for William Plante, but it was thrown behind him. And now this is the first drive for the Game Changers offense in the second half. They did a great job in the first one, mixing in some short passes, some deep passes. We didn't see them go deep that much, though, beyond the first play, right, Peace?
There was a first play, and then there was the touchdown to Filto. Also, there are holes to the sidelines and an intermediate depth that we haven't seen taken advantage of. We'll see if they do that in the second half.
We just saw the team picture of the Game Changers, and the man with the hat, I don't know who he is, but he looks intimidating. Saki's over the right, and that ball is intended for Filto, knocked away by Georges Voyer. Great play on the defensive side there.
Going to the cookie jar maybe a little too often, running that smash play. The Ghosts are a smart team. If you show them the same looks, they'll eventually pick you off.
Gab Wiseman quick on that to get the sack is making him, forcing him to make that quick throw, and it wasn't the best throw to make that Terrence Thompson.
That's right. If he had gunned it in a little bit faster, I feel it might have been a completion, but you got to be careful if they don't come in fast enough, as they could get intercepted. Pass underneath to Paul Santash, who gains some yardage and finally steps out of bounds after a gain of 12 yards.
These underneath routes are where the Game Changers are making their money. Santash coming completely across the field to make that catch and making some yards after the catch as well.
Gaumont came sliding in trying to make a tackle. And I hope he has someone dressing up like a sexy nurse to take care of him later, because there's some definite turf burn on that one.
Now, both of you guys will be playing QB in Division E this season, which will be disgusting.
Oh,
But-
it'd be terrible.
But at the same time, what are your thoughts on somebody playing both quarterback and defense at the same time?
Defense is always stupid.
No, you get your best player on the field. If Gaumont is the best defender you have available, then you put him on the field.
Well, speaking of great defenders, Voyer with another tackle after a catch by Dobson, who certainly seems to be getting back into the swing of things in this second half.
And Voye is definitely an underrated defender. We all know him as a receiver, but he's a very solid defender. Doesn't miss a flag. Great at playing the ball in the air.
But I think when we look at the Ghosts, that's the word solid is the one you'll use all the time. They're all solid, top to bottom. Solid offensive players, solid defensive players. And it's like Herman Boone said it, Remember the Titans, just like Novocaine. Give it time and it'll always work.
works.
Yeah, that's right.
They have very reliable players across the board. All reliable.
And that's allowed them to make it to the finals of the Division 5 season. Saki is looking to his right, and the pass is caught by his snapper, Jonah Cohen, tackled again by Voyer after a gain of 4 or 5 yards.
Told you he doesn't miss a flag.
Told you what?
That he doesn't miss a flag.
Oh, he doesn't miss a flag. George
Ah.
Livoyer is the better defender on the team.
One of the great defenders on this team, but I'm secretly hoping that he misses a tackle now just to put it in Peace's face.
It won't happen.
It won't happen, guarantee.
Guaranteed.
Is that
you
a
will not be able to put anything in my face.
Who's that player on his Divi team? He made a guarantees a lot of time.
Sean Collins?
Sean Collins. Is that a Sean Collins?
It's a
guarantee?
Sean Collins guarantee.
Sean
you
Collins
You heard it here
guarantee.
first.
Don't
All
put
right.
your money on it. I'm looking for a sack right now by Gab Wiseman if they can get good coverage.
Well, we'll see if that happens. Wiseman bringing in the pressure, but the pass is to Filto, though it's behind, and certainly the pressure from Wiseman might have played a part in that. He was right in that passing lane, so it was a fairly inaccurate pass by Sakis.
And it's tough. They've been hitting that drag all day. So definitely good job from Wiseman to take the window away.
They've got to. Terry mentioned it earlier that drag has been money all game.
All game. All game coming from the outside, coming from even the snapper at some points. They're using it very well on both teams.
Anton Sakis surveying the field, takes the snap, rolling to his left, now looking back towards his right. Pass is caught by Santash. Is he going to get in? I think he stopped just short of the end zone on the 1 yard line. Great tackle, touchdown saving tackle by number 7, Michael Homanok.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Those underneath slants are always working, so might as well go to Santash and give him those 3 yard catches with a 5 yard gain after the fact.
That being said, had he looked to the right and then gone back to the read on the left-hand side, Alvi Mazel was by himself in the end zone.
I think it's easier for us to say at this point. What we see the field at a much in a bigger perspective. So for us to see those plays, the game's a lot faster down there. Of course, Peas, but no, you're pretty slow.
Very close to the end zone here. Sakis looks left, rolls right, goes down the back, and that ball lands out of bounds in the right corner of the field. Safely out of bounds as nobody was there but the game changers.
Same play, back of the end zone. Paul Santash, it's their go-to red zone play.
I noticed Santash has a little bit of a limp. Perhaps he's a little slow getting across the back because it seems like that's the play they want to go to. It's just not working in this game.
A lot of it's funny, for an offense as prolific as the Game Changers' offense is, it seems like they've been either connecting or completely missing the mark. Really feast or famine, not what we're used to seeing from their offense. Maybe that's a reflection of how great the Ghosts are playing on defense. As Terry and I know, they can take away what you do best. Looking to the right, and that pass is caught by Terrence Dobson. Gets a finger on it while his back was turned to the play, bounces it up, and then catches it as he's falling down. That's why we call him the game changeriest of all the game changers. Touchdown game changers. Score is now 25-19. 6-point lead.
Very Joe Juravicious of him to make that catch.
Good call.
Kind of tipping it over the DB, turning around and catching the ball again.
I know if Dave Stein is watching this, he's enjoying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers reference.
He's not watching it because the game's not live.
Right, but he might watch this later and hear the same thing.
That's a good point.
Okay, peace. So, any thoughts on this extra point coming up? Score is 25-19. We'll come to your thoughts later. He goes over the middle, and that pass is caught wide open for Paul Santash.
Great
Finally,
play
that
call.
back of the end zone play that we've been talking about all game.
They had two guys flooding left, run Santash across the back. It's what they've been trying to get at, like you've been saying, Terry. This time Santash was so open, there's no way to miss that pass.
Definitely, things seem to be working out well for the Game Changers, but the Ghosts have shown a great ability to compensate, adjust, and come back. They are a team that is not afraid of taking their chances, as we saw in this game. Throughout the season, everybody was talking about Gab Wiseman. Hasn't had a huge impact so far. We've seen guys like Plante come up big. We've seen guys like Carrier come up big, and now he's going deep down the right sideline, but that ball falls incomplete. And that ball was intended for number 80.
Zach Zwern.
There he is.
Somebody
Coolest
that you
name.
guys spoke about this week on the podcast. They use him very well. I mean, he's a good player on the team. This is the first time we mentioned him today. I think he's been isolated by LP Paquette.
Yeah, Paquette had great coverage on that play. That being said, Gaumont put it up to where either he got the ball or nobody got it.
Which is good. That's what you want on those deep tries. We've seen some openings deep. It was a good opportunity, but we'll see if they go back to their
I don't
usual
think so.
formula.
They'll go back to the formula, try and
Yeah.
get some yards.
I think so too. So Gaumont takes the snap, looking to his left, and that pass is caught by Francois
Oh,
Martin. Oh, dropped.
Dropped by Francois.
I was ahead of the play there because I was sure he was going to catch it. He's made some tough grabs for the team, but sometimes it's the easiest ones that are the hardest to catch.
Or you were watching in an alternate reality where he caught the ball.
And this is where the realities diverge. Is that it?
It's the darkest of timelines.
I think
Yes.
Francois Martin is more upset about that drop than Alexis Gaumont would be.
Well, Gaumont, he's even keel.
Exactly.
It's always the same thing over and over again. It's frustrating to a certain point, and when you line up against it, because it seems like nothing rattles him.
Nothing.
So we'll see how Martin responds from that. They'll need him to come up big, as Gab Wiseman has been limited by the good defense of Alvin Mizel. Now Gaumont takes off, but he is sacked by Justin Filto, and it's a loss of about 3 or 4 yards, and that's exactly what the Game Changers defense needed.
This time around, Filto didn't let him break. He took away the angle, made a smart play, got the sack.
Gaumont was looking for Gab Wiseman on that play. You can see his eyes were right down the field. As soon as Wiseman turned and he was open, sack was done.
Well, Ghosts coming up with a little bit of difficulty on this drive. They had a good attempt on that first one, fell incomplete, and now a sack. They're down 7 points. We're getting on in the game here. If they do not convert on this drive, are they in panic mode?
I wouldn't say panic mode.
Depends on how much time is left.
Well,
Yeah.
look, they just punted, so they're not converting on this drive.
That's what I'm saying. Cause
So now they really got to stop the Game Changers, I should say. Gab Wiseman comes to pressure. Filto down the middle, caught, touchdown, and it is now a 13-point lead for the Game Changers, and that's how you make the Ghosts pay for their inability on offense.
So would you say that he's faster than light now, Darren?
I still would not, because it remains physically impossible, but I would say that he's really fast.
You know what's physically impossible? Justin Filto.
All right.
Touchdown.
Nice.
Huge play.
Justin Filto is not somebody they used often during the regular season on the offense, and now coming in the playoffs, him and Terem Stopson, I mean, they've been their key guys. We spoke about Anton Sakis all season, and Justin Filto really coming up big today.
And a great interview, right, Peace?
Yeah, he was good. He was on the ball. We wanted to get his feelings on the game, and a new player in the league. It was fun to see.
Fun to see these guys compete. It'll be fun to see what the Ghosts have in store in the next drive. Saki's looking over the middle, throws, pass is caught, but is he in bounds? Yes, and the extra point conversion is good. Score is now 33-19. It is a 14-point lead
That's a
for the
big
Game
convert.
Changers. Huge convert, and really it's been back and forth throughout the entire game, and then suddenly just one drive doesn't work out for the Ghosts. Punt, touchdown. This is what the Game Changers do really well. This is what you alluded to, Pease, during halftime.
The one thing I just want to get to what Terry said about Justin Filto. He did have 12 touchdowns in the season and 20.5 yards per catch. So he wasn't used as often, but was always a big play threat.
Always very effective in the big play.
Gaumont needs to respond. This is a critical situation for the Ghosts. He looks kind of over the arms of Gab Wiseman, maybe in the vicinity of Jeremy Carrier, but the end result is an incomplete pass, and they can't afford many more of those.
And we have about 6 minutes left, and this isn't what the Ghosts do well. They're known for marching on the field and controlling the game. They need a big play very soon.
Well, against MMM in the quarterfinals, they had a few minutes left. They were down by 8. They marched up the field and scored with a 2-point conversion to tie it up. Right now they're down by 14, so it's a little tougher. but I think that they can do it, especially with 6 minutes left in 5 plays.
Yeah, they still got time, but they need to score on this drive. And Gaumont looking to do that deep down the left sideline. Pass is caught by Georges Livoyer, the faster man himself. And it is now an 8-point lead for the Game Changers. Score is 33-25. Big play. That's what they needed. We see what they can do when they open it up a little bit, Pease.
And that would you say that he was faster?
Fasterest?
See?
He was faster than his defender, that's for sure.
That was the matchup that I was speaking about earlier. George Livoyer, he's a much better receiver than what Fendel is usually playing against, and for him to beat him deep just proves the fact that we were talking about earlier.
And like I said, the Game Changers keep giving the outside release to the outside receivers. That plays very well into the hands of throwing up the deep ball.
And now Gaumont realized it, exploited it. We'll see if the Game Changers defense changes that up next time the Ghosts get the ball, if they get a chance to get back the ball. Gaumont looking for the extra point, throws out of bounds, back corner of the end zone. No completion there, so it is still an 8-point game. And then again, Pease, you mentioned the extra point for the Game Changers was huge. This incomplete pass on the extra point is also huge.
It does set up a similar finish
don't mention it. Don't say it.
to the game against MMM, where they were down by 8 and came back to tie it, and then there was a bad snap by someone in this booth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
To end the game, of course.
I wonder what the offensive coordinator Sotiris Riberopoulos has to say about this, and what kind of plays he's gonna muster up for this drive.
Is that the guy with the hat?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He always dresses up like Jim Harbaugh.
All right. Well, I don't see a hat though this time. Anyways, I'm not crazy about that. Anton Sack is looking to do some damage to respond to that touchdown. Looking
Wide
deep
open
down the right sideline to Justin Filto. Gets the catch, makes a break, and he's going to make it into the end zone. That's how you respond to a big play, and it is a touchdown for the Game Changers. Touchdown, Justin Filto. Score is 39-25 for the Game Changers.
Very simple offense the entire game. Going deep to Justin Filto, those under slant routes to Paul Santash. Ghosts not making the adjustments, leaving Justin Filto wide open on that play. I don't know why.
They ran a simple post and wheel. He ran up the side. It was a horrendous throw. It looked like a punt. Filto did a great job to adjust on it, and he had a sexy cutback for a touchdown.
I almost feel like if it was a better throw, there might have been better defense played on it.
Yeah, probably.
It looked like it hit the wire. But there's no wire here in Brossard. Of course, as that pass falls incomplete, still making it a manageable game for the Ghosts, but they got to score quick. Time is running perilously short, and it is a 14-point lead for the Game Changers.
Do you take Terrence Dobson and put him on that side? I don't know why Terrence Dobson is walking off the field right now.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like we don't want pick sixes.
Yeah, we let them score so we can get the ball back and score again. I guess that's what they're saying.
That might be the philosophy.
Well, again, Dobson might be a little bit hurt, and maybe he's just taking himself out of the game. We won't really know as this game continues. Gaumont looking deep, but that pass falls over the head of Mr. Big, Francois Martin. And there's the nickname. I was looking for it. Mr. Big. There it is.
I like it. It's all game long. Gaumont has had trouble in that intermediate range of 10 to 15 yards. He's thrown the deep ball well. He's thrown the short ball well. But we've seen in the past couple of drives, he's had trouble attacking that soft zone.
Absolutely. Well, he's going to have to improve on that. He's going to have to improve quick. Takes a bit of a high snap. Looks over the middle. Gab Wiseman, first catch since the opening minutes of the game. We were expecting that more, but now you need to hurry things up. You need to make quick passes. You need to make deep passes. They're down by 14 points, and there is not much time left.
It's weird to say to why you don't want to have Gab Wiseman included in the offense right now because he doesn't go deep. You need to score quickly, and those underslant routes, those hooks aren't going to work at this point.
They're taking way too much time between plays.
Way too much time.
They got to hurry it up. Gaumont takes a low snap this time, looks over the middle, now down the right sideline, but it's out of the reach of his intended receiver, Jérémy Carrier, number 22.
Just trying to lead him on that one. He was so open, he could have just put it right on him. Decided to go with a throw that would lead the receiver. It was a bad decision, and it might come back to haunt them.
I believe there's 1 minute to 5 plays.
1 minute 30 seconds.
Minute and a half as official Stephen Hodhod is helping us out with that call.
My favorite referee.
Well, you might not want to say that. There's other referees near here who can hear. Gaumont takes off, and he gets past Filto, gains some yards, but steps out of bounds after a gain of 7 yards. If he had not stepped out of bounds, he might have made it into the end zone.
Little black swan impression across the sideline. Unfortunately, his toes did touch the line.
Yep.
Very, very unique. I mean, I don't know why. Like I said, there was nothing open, so he uses his feet. Hasn't used them often this game. Used them only once before this. They're trying to get to the field, but the time's working against them.
That's right. They got to move quick here. We've got very little time. They're taking way too much time in the huddle. They must have taken a timeout.
I would
guess.
hope so because I see
Yeah,
like
they
a
took a
service
timeout.
meeting or
Yeah.
some
That makes
water break.
that makes a lot more
Good
sense.
thing you have me and Peas here, Darren.
Well, good thing Pease was looking at Hot who gave him the information. All right,
That's right, baby.
let's not roast me on a spit. I know it's Greek Easter tomorrow, but timeout looks like it's ending. I hope the Ghosts were planning a couple plays ahead just in case they don't get in here because they cannot waste time between the snaps. Here we go. Clock is whistled in. Gaumont takes the snap. He pumps and goes to the right. That ball is floating and falls out of bounds. Best man with a shot at it was Louis-Philippe Paquette, and that is not what you want. We see the procession of Mokan, George Michael Calethris, and Roberto Campana bringing down the trophies, the MVP award, and the championship T-shirts. And that can only mean one thing, that there is deathly little time in this game for the Ghosts to make an impact.
I love seeing Mokan on his phone pretending to text what he considers to be imaginary
But he
friends.
doesn't text because no one knows who he is.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Like
guys
he's
are
pretending
jerks.
to text.
You guys are jerks.
Yes, entirely.
So now, the Ghosts.
True.
I don't know what they can do. They called that second timeout. They're out of timeouts now. They need to score really quick and pray for some magic on defense. If there's any team that can do it, it's the Ghosts. They got a heavy dose of magic against the mysterious and magical men. I didn't plan that pun. Gaumont over the middle. That pass is dropped by Plante, but that's not on him as it was behind him. They got to go quick. They got to go quick. It is third down now. Third down.
What I'm seeing by both quarterbacks this game is that Alexis Gaumont hasn't been able to create a rhythm in his offense where Anton Sakis has.
And the rhythm has really been a lot of big plays.
A lot of big
A lot of
plays.
underneath stuff, and that's been working for them. Whereas for Gaumont, it's a couple of great plays deep, but a lot of misses deep, and not much short as well. So it's really the Game Changers have done a better job of taking away what the Ghosts left to do than the Ghosts have done to the Game Changers.
6 plays left.
6 plays left now. It'll be 5 plays after this one. He goes over the middle, pass in coverage, double covered, but Gab Wiseman gets the catch, and the play is whistled dead after a small gain. Not really the kind of play you're looking for in this situation.
Wiseman did get up and hustle, thinking that he wasn't touched yet, but he was basically brought down by a whole bunch of hands.
Okay, so 5 plays left now, and unless there's a miracle, it looks like the Game Changers are going to win this one. Pease, let me go to you for your thoughts on this season and this game for the Game Changers as we continue to call this game.
Listen, they've been a fun team to watch. The game isn't over yet. They got to play tough. And here it is. Here's their chance to win a championship in their first ever season in FPF.
Fourth down, Gaumont caught by Voyer, dropped, and that will do it. There are 3 plays left. The Game Changers have essentially all but won it. Terry, what are your thoughts on this season for the Game Changers?
Undefeated season. They did have that one tie at the end of the season to ruin the 10-0, but a great. I'm very shocked with this team. I mean, this is a team who only had one player that played in FPF previously. Very athletic, very organized. You can tell they're a close-knit group. I'm very, very happy that they won. They're a bunch of good guys as well.
I'm sure they really did not like that tie, but this is so much sweeter, as both you and I can attest to.
Yes.
Congratulations to Game Changers on their championship. We got Matt Domont joining us in the booth here for his thoughts on the second half. Matt, what were your thoughts quickly on this second half?
Je pense que si on regarde la partie, si on regarde en fait la deuxième demi, je pense qu'il n'y a pas de surprise ici. La meilleure équipe a gagné. Athlète pour athlète, Filto, Dobson, Paquette, évidemment le QB Sakis sans tâche. Je pense que vraiment Game Changers, il y avait un petit edge en termes de profondeur. Ghost, c'était souvent les mêmes joueurs qui revenaient sur le terrain. Quelques drops. Puis en bout de ligne, ça a été le long jeu qui a fait la différence. Ça a été pas capable de surveiller deep pour Ghost. Puis c'était pas mal fini quand à peu près au milieu de la deuxième demi quand Gaumont s'est fait saquer puis on a été obligé de punt.
Pease, we've talked a lot about the Game Changers. Quick word for the Ghosts before we call this one a night.
It's a sort of bittersweet moment for me because I like the Game Changers, but a lot of my friends play on Ghosts. They're a good group of guys, very worthy of playing the FPF championship. It's kind of fitting that the game was so close for so long. Unfortunately, Sakis was able to pick up on the weaknesses of the Ghosts and attack them. That being said, it was a very worthwhile season. I like to see what this franchise can do in future seasons.
And as we speak, Justin Filto is announced as the Finals MVP, and really, I don't think there was any doubt in this one.
I think with
Great job as a rusher, but especially on offense.
3 touchdowns, 3 deep touchdowns, one that iced the game, I would say, when the Ghost scored that deep touchdown. Then they came back. First play, boom, right to Justin.
He was definitely a dominant player. He was, we talked a lot about Terrence Dobson, but he was the game changeriest of the game changers. P's final thoughts on this season, this Division 5 season. It was a great season, great finals. Really enjoyed it.
It was a ton of fun. I'm happy I had the opportunity to cover the division, even though I didn't play in the division this season. It's always a great community. It's great to see all these new teams coming along and moving up the ranks through the divisions. And this season we saw in Division 4, Division 3, a lot of teams from the Div 5 alumni moving on to the playoffs. So definitely there's something here, and I'm happy to see these two teams make it this far, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for them.
Terry, your final thoughts on the season?
I had a great time doing the podcast with you guys, covering the games, coming to the fields when I'm not working or I'm not with my family or my girlfriend, whatever the case. Coming to the games to watch these boys play, it was really fun. Obviously, playing in the division as well was really entertaining for myself. Working with all of you guys was great. Eagle, Matt Dumont, the Uncle Hood Studios, Darren replacing me on the podcast, and of course, P's my bromance.
That's right, baby.
I don't want to talk too much about me, but somebody here said that this team could go undefeated and win the championship, and they sure did. Congratulations to the Game Changers. Great job by Pease and Terry all season. Great job by Pease at the article and Matt Dumont with the article in French. Great having all of you here. Great job at the Roadshow Eagle as always. Thank you to everyone for watching this. Congratulations to the Ghosts for making it as far as they did. No shame in your game, Ghosts, but hats off to the Game Changers. Congratulations to the Winter 2014 Division 5 champions.